What's up guys, hope you're all good. This is Said from Wanderer's Footsteps, and in this video I'm gonna be talking to you about a movie that I watched for the first time last Saturday. It's Mr. Nobody.
Nobody. Nemo, nobody.
So if you did not watch this movie yet, I suggest you watch it before watching this video because there's gonna be some spoilers. And now that we got that out of the way, in this video I'm gonna be telling you my personal point of view about this movie, this amazing movie, and the lessons we can learn from it. So to summarize, the movie talks about a boy named Nemo who is 9 years old, or when he is like 118 years old, he is also called Mr. Nobody, played by Jared Leto. Basically, at 9 years old, Nemo has a very difficult choice to make. At this age, his parents were separated, so he has to choose whether he goes with his mother to the US or he stays in England with his father. So in the movie, we see Nemo at the train station, his mother is taking the train to leave, and his father is just standing next to him. And this is where the difficult choice must be made. Nemo has to choose, should he go with his mother or should he stay basically with his father. In the movie, we see Nemo taking different choices. So we see basically alternative realities and the results of every one of these choices. So to summarize, what are the main choices that Nemo has taken or has thought of taking? So the first alternative reality we see is that Nemo chooses to stay with his father. So in this case, we see him growing up. However, he doesn't really live his teenage years as he should. But at some point of his life, he meets a girl named Elise. He falls in love with her and he marries her. But at some point, Elise suffers from big depression until she dies. And at some point, we also see him promising her that in case she dies, he's gonna spread her ashes on Mars. And at the end of the movie, we see Nemo or Mr. Nobody going to Mars, to the red planet, in order to spread her ashes. So this is the first reality we can talk about. This is when he chose to stay with his father. The other alternative reality is that we see him choosing to go with his mother. So basically, he follows the train and he goes in the train with his mother and goes to live in the US. And there he meets a girl named Anna and he falls in love with her. And due to many circumstances, they are forced to leave each other. So basically, Anna goes with her father to another city and he stays with his mother. However, their love is always present until one day in the future they meet each other again and they get married together. So this is a second alternative reality we see in the movie. Also, a third reality we see in the movie is that Nemo chooses to live a life of wealth. So we see him meeting a girl named Jean. He marries her, but he is not really in love with her. He has a big house, he has a pool, he has expensive cars. However, there is no love between him and Jean, and he is not really happy with his life, even though he is like very wealthy in the future. So basically, all these choices are the results of different choices, basically. All these alternative realities are the results of different choices that he had made. This movie is like a big labyrinth of different choices, of different actions and reactions. I'm not sure if there is really one interpretation of this movie. I mean, I have my own personal opinion, let's say, but I think every person can have his or her opinion on this movie. It also depends how each one of us live his or her life, how we make our choices in life every day. I think this would affect how we see the movie. So this is why I think every person who sees this movie might have a different opinion about it. Personally, I ask myself many questions during the movie. For example, was he imagining? Was he dreaming? Does he have special powers? Is he having some deja vu? Are we living different realities at the same time? I had lots of questions in my mind. However, in my opinion, I think Nemo had the ability to see the future. And this is why he was able to see all the options in front of him, all the choices in front of him and the results. And this is what made him, at the end, choose, let's say, the choice that for him was the best for his future life. It is also important that we do not forget that at some point of the movie, Nemo talks about the angels that come to us before we are born on this earth. So this is a theory actually in this movie. Could it be true? Could it be wrong? I don't think anyone has the answer to it. But in this movie, they tell us that there are angels who come to every spirit, let's say, before the spirit comes to earth and make this spirit forget about the afterlife in a way, or the before life, if you can say this. However, they forgot to erase Nemo's memory, and this is why Nemo has the ability to see into the future. I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, this is a movie. It could be true. It could be not true. No one knows what really happens in the afterlife or where were we before this life. So, but in all cases, I think this is a way of saying that Nemo had this power to see into the future. This is why he was able to see all the choices he had in front of him and to make in a way, the right choice, even though there isn't really a right choice. All choices are right. Like, it depends really on what we want in this life. So I know what you think about this idea of angels like erasing our memories before coming to this earth. Let me know in the comments if you believe in the theory or no. So basically, this was my interpretation of the movie Mr. Nobody. However, in my opinion, this is not like how we interpret the movie is not the most important thing. For me, the most important things are the lessons we can learn from this movie because there are really valuable lessons that we can apply in our daily lives. So what are these lessons? The first lesson is that in life we have the choice to do whatever we want. We have endless possibilities, endless choices. And every word we say, every thought we think about, every talk we have with a person can shape our life completely differently for the next years, for the next months, or for the next minutes. And what's also important that is that if something is not meant to be, then life will always find a way for it not to happen. The second lesson we can learn from this movie is that it is very important to enjoy life to the maximum, to enjoy every moment of our life, and not to take it very seriously. To always remember that life is a playground, as they say in this movie, and the thing that we should be afraid of is not having lived enough. This is it, actually. We should not really be afraid of death. We should only be afraid that we are not really living our life to the fullest. Third lesson we can learn from Mr. Nobody is that every path is the right path. There are no rights and wrongs in this world. There is only the path we choose to ourselves. Rights and wrongs are only adjectives invented by society. In the end, whichever path we choose, everything's gonna work out somehow. Actually, we just have to have faith in life, basically. So there are no rights and wrongs. All the paths are the right path. So it's only up to us to choose how we're gonna live our lives. The fourth lesson we can learn from Mr. Nobody is that always say to any person whatever you feel towards them. It is very important not to hesitate to tell every person what you feel towards them, actually. Do not let your feelings inside you and do not let them be forgotten. So basically, these are the four main lessons we can learn from Mr. Nobody. Lessons that we can really apply in our daily lives and can make our lives much better. I think they are so motivational. This movie has lots of philosophical aspect, I think, through the lessons that it teaches us. So when we finish this movie, we have lots of questions on our minds. As they say in the movie, like for example, is love part of a big plan? Is love just made for humans to meet each other and to procreate and to bring more humans to this earth? Is the big crunch is gonna happen one day? Will time be reversed? Lots of questions, lots of mysteries with no answers to them. But basically, this is what life is, right? I mean, life is full of mysteries. So this movie really represents what life is. And this is what's beautiful about this life, is that it's full of mysteries, mysteries we cannot solve. And even if we solve one of them, we're gonna have more and more mysteries that will come up. And this is what the movie is all about. And this is why I really loved this movie. And I would like to conclude by saying that the movie is so amazing. I highly recommend everyone to watch it. It talks really about life, about how we are always faced with choices and we don't know which choice to take, actually. It talks about our paths in our lives. The movie is about 2 hours and 30 minutes long. However, you really don't feel the time while watching it. I watched it all. I didn't even feel that 2 hours and 30 minutes passed by while watching this movie. It is so good. It is very well directed, very well filmed. I highly recommend it, and I'm sure you will like it. So if you have seen this movie, let me know in the comments below. What do you think of it? I would like to know your opinion. What do you think of this movie? What do you think happened with Nemo? And also, if you like this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. And also make sure to follow me on my Instagram account at Wanderer's Footsteps for all my stories and new posts. And I'll be seeing you next time. Cheers.